Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Seth. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today's video is a little different. We are playing a game that I've always wanted to play, which is Dark Souls 3. Or not really playing, I guess I finished it already. But yeah, I'm going to be voicing over basically my entire experience of Dark Souls 3. And you may be wondering, Seth, why Dark Souls? And that's because I've always wanted to play a Dark Souls game, or a Soulsborne, whatever it's called, that franchise, a FromSoft Souls game. But I've always been, too scared to take the first step. But this time around, my friend, who's gonna be at the call most of the time, his name is Austin, and he really encouraged me, pushed me to play the game because he really likes the game. So for those of you who don't know Dark Souls and, are a frequent watcher of mine, should probably know the lore first, or the basic lore of, the game. You play as a protagonist whose goal is to find and return the 5 Lords of Cinder to their thrones at the Firelink Shrine in order to link the flame again. So if you don't link the flame again, the world will be engulfed in darkness, and nobody likes darkness. You know how you were scared of the dark as a kid? Yeah, exactly. Nobody likes darkness. So the game starts with a riveting cutscene.
Dude, that's what I look like when I drive, dude.
So here on out, the game basically has no tutorial. There are things on the ground, like little streaks of fire that you can read, that tells you hints and stuff like that. But instead of reading them, I basically just ran past all of them without knowing. Yeah, I didn't go through any of the tutorial, so I basically didn't know how to do most actions in the game until a little later. So the beginning is definitely a cakewalk. Of course, they won't give you enemies that are ridiculously hard in the beginning until the boss room, where I met my first challenge, Ludix Gundyr.
Oh, what have you done, Seth?
How'd I drink my shit, bro? I didn't get that memo.
The experienced RPG player. Man says he was scared.
Oh! Dude, how do I drink it? Oh fuck! Wait, you don't play on controller. Okay, I got it. Oh, I do run that stuff fast. Oh. No! I was doing so well. Fuck.
You're so good at this game. And you said you were scared.
And I realized how unfair already, man. This game is going to be. Alright. Okay. After 30 minutes, I was able to beat Ludix Gundyr without much trouble because I basically memorized all of his attack patterns. Yeah, nothing to write home about. We make our way to the Firelink Shrine to meet the Firekeeper, where we discuss our plans on, bringing the 5 Lords back to their thrones and stuff like that. And we agreed to do it, offer, a slight chance that I might get to suckle on Mommy Firekeeper's teeth at the end of the game, possibly. My next challenge in this game was definitely not a boss, but it's to try and get on this roof to unlock a secret area that, I'm supposed to be able to access with a bunch of souls. I spent around 40 minutes doing this. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. The thing I got was basically a ring that just gave me more souls. Oh my god, let's go. Our next road bump in this journey is Yhorm of the Boreal Valley. And this guy was definitely a pushover, I have to admit. At first, he seems kind of hard. He hits hard, he attacks fairly decently fast, but once you get under his stomach and start hitting his gooch, there's literally nothing he could do, and it made the fight a whole lot easier after knowing what to do. So yeah, died a few times, wasn't a big deal. Eventually we killed Yhorm after around 20 minutes. I finally killed it. Fuck you, bitch. The next boss is the Curse-Rotted Greatwood. There is nothing good to say about this boss. The boss is ridiculously slow. It you know, doesn't do too much damage. It's weak as fuck. The only, you know, thing you have to worry about is the other people around the boss. It's not really a hard fight. All I have to do is hit the balls on his crotch area and other parts of his body, and then he'll eventually die. The boss definitely isn't hard. It just takes a while to kill him. But yeah, I had no trouble with this boss. Beat him in the second attempt after I knew what to do. So yeah, not very difficult at all. I ended up with the Irithyll straight sword. This straight sword, I love it with a burning passion. I love this sword so much. So this is the bread and butter, the P to my pie of the run. What am I trying to say? Basically, I kept this weapon throughout my entire playthrough, and I basically used it the entire game. Now we enter the Road of Sacrifices. Ah yes, my favorite area. The reason why I don't like this area at all is because it's not a big area. It's really small actually. But there's just one enemy that kept fucking me over, and that is Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs definitely shouldn't be hard, but for some reason, he was the hardest enemy I've encountered so far. This is the first enemy where I had to sleep on them because I literally couldn't beat them, and come back the next day and have the daily quota for the entire day to beat Mr. Krabs, because this fucking thing, I don't know why, don't ask me why, but Mr. Krabs was the hardest enemy I've fought so far. Making my way through the Road of Sacrifices, I eventually came up to this big door, which housed one of my greatest challenges yet. It is the Abyss Watchers. And my god, do they have one of the coolest cutscenes in the game. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What have I done? Okay. Okay. The Abyss Watchers are the first Lords of Cinder that you encounter in the game, and they are definitely no pushovers, because once you think you're only fighting one guy, the other one comes and stabs his fucking greatsword up your ass, and they start ganging up on you, and then you don't know what to do. And then the third guy comes up, starts beating their asses, and then you start to wonder, what is happening? So this boss fight, you really don't have to fight them. The third guy comes up from the ground, and he starts beating their asses anyway. So you can literally run away, try to remove aggro from both of them, and, you know, have the traitor, I guess, hit them a bunch of times, which is what I did to get, you know, most of his health down. It didn't work, you know, completely. It wasn't foolproof, because sometimes the guy would get full comboed and you would have to fend for yourself against two of them, which kind of sucks. So instead, I would join in on the fight with the buddy. And damn, after you take down this health bar, you thought the battle was done, but it definitely wasn't. This motherfucker has a second phase, and my god, out of all the bosses, you know, after clearing the game, I can still say this is one of my favorite bosses in the game. He is just so damn cool. Oh, we're gonna have one fucking crazy immortal Abyss Watcher right here. That's what I'm getting. Oh, yes. Oh, fuck. I'm terrified. Okay. Fucking embered up. Oh, God. So I felt pretty comfortable even, you know, fighting this phase for the first time. His combos were the same as, you know, as if he wasn't on fire. It just has, you know, little changes to his attacks, so it wasn't too bad, is what I thought, until he two-shot me and I got insta-killed. I died in 2 hits. So up until this point, the concept of farming for souls never really crossed my mind, which means that I always had basically the minimum amount of souls the whole way. And also because I died like 20 different times to Mr. Krabs, definitely didn't help that I lost my souls like how many different times while fighting Mr. Krabs. So I was extremely underleveled for this fight, but eventually I somehow beat them, which was, you know, kind of empowering, I guess. It made me feel really good. Did I do it? Let's go! Lord of Cinderfallen! Beyond the Abyss Watchers is a pathway to the next area known as the Catacombs of Cathedral. What's that noise? Oh! The fall off! No!
What's that noise, dude? I didn't want to say anything, dude. Oh my god.
No, I have to do that shit all over again. Traversing the catacombs is a real pain in the ass because a lot of these enemies just come back from the fucking grave, put themselves back together, and are here to fight you for a second time for no extra souls, might I add. So yeah, it was pretty terrible going through here. And thankfully the boss of this area was really easy. He was a real pushover. His attacks are incredibly slow, easy to dodge. All you have to do is hit the bracelets on his wrists and he'll, you know, die naturally. And upon entering this beautiful area, I was stunned at how nice this area was compared to other regions in the game. The colors were beautiful, vibrant. Oh my god, this place is up. Ah! Cool, I just got here, man. Let me enjoy the view, you fucker. And after dying a few times to this crocodile dog monster thing, I finally realized after dying in 2 hits from this fucker that I was underleveled. Until now, I didn't have that feeling at all because I was able to beat the Abyss Watchers. But yes, I was extremely underleveled. So I went back, explored, killed a few enemies, farmed some souls, and that's where I came across the Cathedral of the Deep. This area was amazing, and I, you know, found my favorite minor enemy of the game. After exploring the cathedral a bit more, came across Mommy Rosaria. And this is an actual mommy, because she has her baby right there. What the fuck is that? Wait, that's so gross. I decided to pledge my allegiance to her and asked to join her covenant for an attempt to ogle at her beautiful, her baby. Yeah, definitely. The next boss that we come across is the Deacons of the Deep, the boss of the Cathedral of the Deep. And I guess you can say bosses because there's a whole lot of them. And this fight was extremely easy. I just, you know, hack and slashed, R1 spammed my entire way through this entire boss battle. It definitely wasn't hard. I guess it made it easier with the Phantom summon, which is my friend who is, you know, beating their asses over there. But it probably wouldn't have changed my experience with this boss fight because I wiped out almost all of them within a few seconds with just spamming my R1. So he finally shows himself after, you know, hitting his possessed guys a few times, and he definitely didn't get any better. The the spells that he spammed were incredibly slow, weak, and most of the time he didn't cast. He just stared at me and did nothing. Eventually died, and it was a very underwhelming boss fight. It definitely wasn't fun at all. I guess the atmosphere was pretty creepy and scary and intimidating, but it definitely was the easiest boss fight to date. I finally come back to Irithyll after the Cathedral of the Deep, gained a couple levels, and I was ready to fight Crocodile Dog once again. And we all know what happens when bad dogs bite humans. They get put down. We finally make it into Irithyll, and the worst part of this entire game has yet to come. These Pontiff Knights are incredibly fast. They attack super fast. They hit hard. And there's so many of them. Christ, there's 3 of them. There's fucking 3 of them. So instead, I went back, farmed a few more souls, gained a couple levels, came back, and then I finally made it down to the profaned capital. Dude! Where we fight our next Lord of Cinder, Yhorm the Giant. Oh,
Boss fight music. I gotta watch this. Yhorm the Giant, dude. Let's go, dude.
Oh,
the guy from the
shit.
trailer, Seth.
The
That's
guy from the trailer. Oh, he's slow as fuck.
Oh, would you do negative damage?
Okay, never mind. I didn't know.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry.
Dude, what is that, dude?
Storm Ruler. I gotta equip that somehow. Ow. Okay, it does less than my fucking thing. Okay. Dude, it does even less. This fight is supposed to be very easy because there's really big gimmick to this fight, which is the weapon by his throne. What I didn't know in my first few attempts is that you kind of have to use its skill.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I see.
Move.
Okay. Upon using this special skill, you can kill Yhorm the Giant very easily. Again, not a challenging boss fight. I realize now, looking back, that there's a lot of boss fights with like specific gimmicks that you have to do, which don't make the boss fights hard. But in my personal opinion, I really like gimmicks because it gives this like epic feel to it. Like you can't kill this boss fight on your own because they're such great beings that you have to, you know, subject to using these specific weapons like a giant killing sword and stuff like that to, you know, actually beat them. Which to me is a cool thing that I like about boss fights. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me. Damn. Let's go. Dude, that was fucking awesome. Holy shit.
And the music, dude. Oh,
That was so
God.
cool. Oh,
Oh, dude, rich, dude,
Rich.
dude.
Make our way back to fight Pontiff Sulyvahn. Now, Pontiff Sulyvahn has one of the most badass entrances ever. You walk up, his theme slowly starts playing, his swords light up in the distance, and then he fucking charges at you with the fastest attack ever, and he whips your ass into oblivion. And my god, is he a cool ass boss fight. He has 2 great swords. One is an ultra great sword, and another is just a normal greatsword that he's fucking dual wielding, covered in magic. Like, he is definitely the coolest boss fight to date, and he is definitely the only boss fight where I actually felt despair. I attempted at least 20 different times before I actually, you know, made progress in how much damage I dealt to him. So it was definitely a challenging boss fight for me. No! 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 No!
It's pretty sick, dude.
He's not doing it. Why isn't he doing it? He keeps walking at me. That's new. Yeah, I can probably kill him without using any Dude. Once he gets to around half HP, he falls to the ground, releases his wings, and then after a little bit, he stops moving to summon his clone. During this time, he is extremely vulnerable, and I tried to attack him as many times as I could until, I used up all my stamina. And at this time, I should probably be focusing on his clone, but instead, I did something else. So in the end, how I beat this fight is I basically used Pontiff's clone in the second phase to my own benefit. Mostly because there was one attack that the clone does that was incredibly hard to dodge. I don't know how to dodge that, fuck. Until the very end of the boss fight, I did not know how to dodge this. So instead, because Pontiff's clone does less damage, I let his clone attack me first, and I laid on the ground while retaining those iframes and letting Pontiff strike next into the ground, which usually didn't hit me. And right when I was about to end the fight in the most anime way possible, he lives with 2 HP, and I couldn't get my anime moment, and I decided to kill him anyway, and still feel that great sense of achievement after killing a boss I was stuck on for a very long time. Yes, sir! Get fucking dominated, bitch. Let's go. After Pontiff Sulyvahn, we make our way to Anor, where we fight our next Lord of Cinder, Saint Aldrich of the Deep. Aldrich doesn't have that problematic of a moveset. The only problem that I really had in this boss fight is when he pulled out the light arrows and they start raining from the sky, because these are incredibly easy to dodge in the first phase, but in the second phase they start tracing you, they start tailing you, and you can't really, dodge your way through them. You have to literally run away for a good 10 seconds total until they stop following you. And the thing is, these light arrows, these rains of light arrows, insta kill. They kill you so ridiculously fast that if you take one misstep, if you fuck up a little bit, you will insta die. What? What? I got one shot. Other than that though, Aldrich has a massive hitbox. The actual size of him is massive, so he is very easy to hit. Without having too much attempts, we were able to beat Aldrich, Devourer of Gods. Oh, did I win? Hey! Right after we beat Aldrich, we are teleported and sent into this room where we have another boss fight waiting for us, which is the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. And even if you haven't played this game, you definitely heard of this name before. I definitely have multiple times. I know of the Dancer. Everyone knows of the Dancer, probably because she's caked up. Look at her, bro. Look at her fat ass. I do not know if this boss is famous because of her fat dump truck, but she definitely wasn't that hard of a boss fight, so I assume that's the reason why she's popular, because she wasn't very hard. She had some attacks that might have been considered problematic, like when she spins around and does this spin thing, but the rhythm of it is very easy to get the hang of. The Dancer also just has a lot of times where she's just standing there and not doing anything, so those are a lot of free hits as well. We ended the fight in a very fitting way, where we gave her a nice slap on the ass, ending the Dancer of the Boreal Valley fight. After that fight, I did some backtracking. I went back to find the Smoldering Lake so I could upgrade, find some materials to upgrade my Estus flask. Oh, he had no HP. I thought he was doing a dying animation. So the boss of this area is the old Demon King. I would think he would be a decently hard boss fight, but he definitely wasn't for me because I was extremely over leveled. It's probably because I've died so many times in the normal areas that every time I went back to grab my souls, I would have to fight the same enemies again and, you know, get more souls again. So they just kept stacking up. I didn't lose my souls at all. So it basically just kept stacking up over and over and over again when I was stuck on an area, and that's probably how I accumulated so many souls to increase my level by so much. But yeah, that's probably why I was level 79 in the Smoldering Lake. Just to put into perspective, the Smoldering Lake recommended level is level 50. So after exploring the entirety of the Smoldering Lake, I made my way back to the main route that I was supposed to take, which is Lothric Castle, only to die a bunch of times and get frustrated, so I made another detour to the Consumed King's Garden. The main boss of this area is Osiris, the Consumed King, who is originally the king of Lothric until he got consumed by his research and he turned into this disgusting lanky dragon. So Osiris wasn't necessarily a hard boss fight, I want to say. He was just really annoying when he ran across the entire boss room. Boss fight was, yeah, mostly me chasing him instead of, actually fighting him. Oh, dead on the first try.
Let's go.
After beating Osiris, make our way down and we gain a gesture that we are going to use later, which is called Path of the Dragon. And upon inspecting this room further, I found a secret passage that leads to this really dark area. This dark area is called the Untended Graves, which was a supposedly optional and secret area that you could unlock if you did hit that wall. After making your way down the path, you would soon realize that this is the exact same area as the beginning of the game, where you first wake up in the grave and you have to fight Ludic Gundyr. But this time, instead of Ludic Gundyr, you have to fight Champion Gundyr. Champion Gundyr was an amazing boss fight, of course, because he is towards the end of the game. He is definitely powered up a bit more. I was still over leveled, so I was chunking him with my Irithyll straight sword. But this time, when you get him to half HP, he does not transform. He stays the same the way he was, which makes me feel like that this is probably in a separate timeline where he didn't get, fucked up by that gross ass shit. What I really like about this fight is that you really feel like you're fighting Gundyr in his prime, hence the title champion, where he is not, consumed by the black sludge. So it really feels like an epic fight between you and this, this champion of sorts. Champion Gundyr basically has the same moveset as he did in the beginning of the game. The one thing he has different here that I've noticed was he does this really sick karate kick that comes out really fast. Doesn't do too much damage, but it definitely is a super cool attack. Yeah, probably because I was extremely over leveled, I killed him with ease on my first try. Nothing to write home about. Definitely was a very cool boss fight.
Oh, nice.
Okay, no second phase, thank God. So I kind of forgot to record this. I don't know why, but when you make your way through Champion Gundyr after you beat him, there's like a little path where it leads you to this like parallel world, Firelink Shrine, where everything's like dark and stuff. But you can get this item, which is the Eyes of the First Firekeeper. Yeah, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because it's kind of important to where when I beat the game. So yeah, that's why I'm mentioning it now. After that, I make my way back to the Irithyll dungeon instead of going on the main quest line to use my newfound gesture in this area. So we arrive in Archdragon's Peak and I found my nemesis, my most hated enemy in this entire game. The enemy I hate the most. It is this fucking Orochimaru looking ass with this big ass fucking with this big ass axe. I don't know why, but his attacks were so extremely hard for me to dodge. I don't understand why. It's not like they were coming out like super fast or anything. It was just the timing was incredibly weird. Maybe because his charge up was slow, but his swing was incredibly fast. which fucked up my timing. And I don't know how many times I died to him until I just said fuck it and just started to ignore every single one of them. So yeah, I've never actually beat one of these yet. I kind of just ignored every single one of them when I encountered one, and I just ran past them instead. So our first boss battle that we encounter in the Archdragon's Peak is the Ancient Wyvern. It is this huge dragon who, if you slap, won't deal any damage. You'll deal like a very, very small sliver of its health. I fell off the map! So instead, there are a bunch of markings on the ground where you read, tells you to do a plunge attack, where you make your way all the way up to this point in the map where you perform the aforementioned plunging attack, kill the boss in one hit without any trouble at all. Definitely another gimmick fight, but pretty cool nonetheless. It's all about the atmosphere. After the Ancient Wyvern, there are still a lot of areas to explore in the Archdragon's Peak, so I was just running around and I was having a very, very good time. Oh, that's not where I came from. Oh, fuck. What? Oh, bye. After a few minutes of exploring, I encounter this bell. It said to travel the path of the dragon, do not ring the great bell. And for some reason, I decided to ring it. I kind of fucked myself over. I might have done a mistake.
What have you done?
I hit the bell.
Mm-hmm.
Now what's happening?
I don't know.
Is it calling something? Uh-oh. What have I done? Oh wait, I didn't go back. What the fuck happened? Yo, what did I do? Oh shit, wait, I have 40,000 souls. What are you? King of the Storm? Oh fuck. What the fuck? Oh, I do no damage. That's good. I can't see him blowing fire. Huh? Excuse me? Oh, I thought I dodged. Oh, I'm almost there. Oh, wow. Okay.
Attack with the locks on. Having a hard time hitting.
Okay, here we go. Hey. Ah, yes, the cutscene. Now the real fight. But I got it. I got it. You're nothing without your dragon. Fuck up.
Are you sure?
It's probably the hardest fight in the game right here. I'm gonna get fucked.
When you see, once you see his name, you'll change your mind, dude.
Oh.
Dude, are you sure, dude?
Oh, he fucking did the anime.
Are you
Anime
sure,
absorb your fucking
The
teammate
pet
type beat. Oh
He
shit.
executed, dude. He executed him.
Dude, what the fuck?
Are you for
So after a few dozen attempts of trying to beat the first phase, I finally do it, only to be met with another phase. What? shit. What? He does that? No, I got so far. After a couple days of attempts, I finally gave up and just decided to continue on to the main route of the story because the Nameless King was beating my ass so hard that I could barely make a dent in his health bar, which probably means that I gotta grind some more. And back at Lothric Castle, we fight the Dragon Slayer armor. This guy definitely wasn't that hard to fight. His attacks are incredibly slow. He just had a really big shield. That's basically it. Is what I thought until towards the end of the boss fight. I got, you know, bombarded by a volley of fucking whatever those are, dark balls that hit me. So like, does it count though? Next, we make our way through the Grand Archives where this knight thought it would be funny to kill me while I had 100,000 souls in the bank. And after a few hours of running our way through the castle of Lothric, we finally make our way to the last Lords of Cinder, Prince Lothric and Prince Lorien.
Oh dear. Another dogged contender.
Dogged.
Welcome, unkindled one. Purloiner of cinders.
Hi. What
My
the
dear,
fuck is that?
The mantle of Lord interests me none. The fire-linking curse, the legacy of lords. Let it
Damn, he's got the cut.
You've done quite enough.
Oh shit.
Now have your rest.
I don't think so, buddy. Oh lord. He's the only person who looks alive. Whoa! Okay. Oh, I see. Shit.
But you may rest here too, if you like.
Okay. Damn. And although I was extremely overleveled, this fight still gave me some trouble. I was actually really glad that this fight felt as hard as it did because I definitely was breezing through a lot of the boss fights, which made me feel kind of guilty for being, you know, so overleveled, brute forcing my way through all these boss fights. But once I started fighting Lorien, although I was doing a lot of damage to him, he was doing a lot of damage to me, which made it feel like an actual even fight, an even challenge right here. Also, I'd like to mention that the music in this boss fight was actually phenomenal. After taking down Lorien, the next phase of the fight begins with this epic cutscene. Or yet, is it?
Oh, dear brother. I'm on my way.
What is happening? Oh, what is happening?
My brother. Unyielding sword of Lothric's prince.
What is happening?
Rise if you would.
What? Yo.
For that is our curse.
Yo. Yo, this is nuts. This is nuts. Oh, shit, this is cool. God, this is insane. Oh, they're fucking burning too. They're embered up. The fight starts off with Lothric firing volleys of magic balls at me, while also teleporting Lorien around while he beats my ass. And yeah, it's a fantastic second phase. And during this phase, Lorien, if you keep killing him, he will just keep getting revived, so you kind of have to hit them both at the same time. But while he's being revived, Lothric is really vulnerable because he doesn't have, you know, his buddy to hang on to, his brother to hang on to. So that's how you really beat this fight. You hit them both at the same time, and once Lorien is down, you just slap Lothric into oblivion. Let's go. Fuck you. Oh, that took a few tries. That was actually kind of hard for me. Lords of Cinder, or Lord of Cinder. After beating the Twin Princes, I knew I was nearing the end of the game, so I should probably backtrack and beat the King of the Storm and the Nameless King both before I ended the game, just so, you know, I get that satisfaction. This time, however, I now have Lorien's Greatsword fully maxed out, and it deals a ridiculous amount of damage. I also changed my armor to lightning resistance armor so that it doesn't do too much damage to me. Oh my god, I did it. Oh my god. I just needed a few lightning resistance armor and that's it. Let's go. Get fucked. Oh, that was my hardest challenge yet. It was well worth it. I'm pretty sure I'm like super over leveled too, and it still gave me a hard time, so oh, I feel great. Am I being sent back now? Is it over? Oh, what's happening? Oh. Wow, where is it? Whoa. Whoa. Cool. Once I beat the Nameless King, I decided to go back to finally end my journey by linking the flame and to fight the final boss of the game.
And the lords go without thrones. Surrender your fires.
Oh, it got dark.
Air. Let him grant death.
At this point, you finally realize that you aren't the main character of the game. This guy is. This guy is the protagonist. He has a weapon that can change into other weapons. He can do a fucking backflip. What can you do? You can't do a backflip. You kind of just roll around like a fucking idiot. Once you take down his health bar, you realize it's not over yet, and this guy has a second phase. His second phase is fucking ridiculous. He doesn't change weapons anymore, but he hits you with the fucking true combo. The true combo does almost your entire health bar, and if I wasn't this over leveled, I probably would be insta-killed by it. And again, after a few dozen tries, I finally beat the Lord of Cinder while also being incredibly over leveled, which makes me think I'm not really as good at the game as I thought I was. Holy shit, is that it? Soul of the Lords. After beating him, we summon Mommy Firekeeper to give us the ending cutscene of the game. There you are.
The first flame quickly fades. Darkness will shortly settle. But one day, tiny flames will dance across the darkness. Like embers linked by Lord's Pass. Ashen One, hearest thou my voice still?
Oh. Although I got a different ending than the default one, I enjoyed this ending a whole lot more. Only because the default ending, you kind of just sit at the bonfire like you're at a fucking campfire and you just let the cycle continue. What I mean by this is that the 5 Lords of Cinder already once linked the flame before, and it still resulted in this horrible dystopian fucked up world. You're just forcing them to do it again, which, you know, won't save anyone. It will still be this horrible world. And I like this ending to where you just, you know, end the Age of Fire. You end this cycle of grief and you just let everything, you know, die off in this dark world. And that is the end of my Dark Souls 3 playthrough. I hope you guys like this style of video. It took me a really long time to make, so I would appreciate it if you would leave a like and subscribe. Like, I know my interpretation of the ending might not be, you know, correct, but that's just how I interpreted it, and it made my experience a lot better. So please, you know, don't bash me in the comments, because that's just how I, you know, took the ending, and that's what made me enjoy the game. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.